I actually started out with boxing when I was 8 years old. My dad put me in a rec center program, and you know, it sparked my interest. You know, I fell in love with all forms of martial arts from there. After high school, went from doing traditional martial arts to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Muay Thai. Boxing was my base, and then, you know, we blossomed from there. To me, it's the personal test. There's nothing like it in the world. You can play all the team sports, and if, you know, somebody misses a block, your team loses. But, you know, at the end of the day, when we get into the cage or we get into the ring, it's all on us. You know, there's nobody to blame for a loss, or nobody to you know, take the blame for the win. You know, it's all on you. So if you don't train hard, it's your fault. I love that test. I love the entire process. I like the training camps, and I love getting my hand raised at the end of the day and knowing that I put in all that work to accomplish my goal. In life, really, it's, you know, that we're here for more than just ourselves. We're here to reach down and help somebody else up also. And I've seen that with martial arts, and that's what's so amazing with this sport, is that the other day at our training session, we had people from Iran, America, Canada, Chechnya, all different parts of the world. And, you know, if you look at CNN or any of the news channels, you'd think we should all hate each other. But we're all pushing each other and helping each other get better, and focused on a common goal. And it brought people from completely different walks of life together. And you know, we're all friends, we're all buddies, and we love each other because of this sport. I think that the world can learn a lot from that, especially our diplomats and our world leaders. You know, my philosophy is definitely life is more than just us. You know, it's about everyone. It's about humanity as a whole. And it kind of bothers me to see the direction martial arts is taking, because I think it's a lot more than just getting in there and throwing punches, throwing kicks. You know, there's a lot more to be learned from martial arts than just the fight. Today's mixed martial arts scene, or no holds barred, or cage fighter scene, has taken away from the great things that come out of martial arts. I think we definitely need to get back to that. Instead of it being just a sport for a bunch of jocks that have a ton of testosterone, I think it means a little more than that. So I consider myself a martial artist. I think the initial attraction is definitely seeing the glamour of the guys on UFC or fighting in the cage and getting the TV time and being celebrities. But you know, I think it can definitely lead them to something that can change their lives. They may come into it thinking, hey, I want to be a cage fighter, and they may get a lot more out of it than just fighting. You know? They may not ever fight. They may just, you know, learn the discipline, learn how to set goals and accomplish goals. You know, it's definitely life-changing. It's a different way to live, and it radiates throughout your life. I'm a college student again. I'm back in school. I'm completing a political science degree now. I plan to go on and finish my master's in legal studies. You know, a lot of my role models are you know, people that are doing something to help others. Cornel West, Malcolm X, you know, people that are out there in the grit, or who have been out there in the grit of things, trying to make lives better for people that are less fortunate. To me, that's what life is about, you know, and I think martial arts is one way to do that. I've seen my students grow from being knuckleheads on the street corner to having a goal to actually work towards. You know, a lot of my you know, mentors, or the people I look up to, are outside of martial arts. They're out there doing something for community and for people. One big martial martial art. It just depends on what range you're the strongest at. So there's so many different ways to compete. I mean, you can just be a Muay Thai fighter, you can just be a kickboxer, you can just be a boxer, or you can just compete Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, or you can put it all together with mixed martial arts. You know, start something, learn it, learn the complete art. Don't be one of these guys that's just a jack of all, you know, trades but a master of none. You know, actually sit down and learn the art, so you know you can have depth in one particular part of the game and have a strong suit somewhere. You know, I think it's important. I think we have so many schools now that are just mixed martial arts schools, and you walk in and you never really learn jiu-jitsu, you never really learn Muay Thai, you never learn boxing. You're doing an MMA class where you never get the fundamentals of anything. So you got guys that are pretty much just horrible at everything, but they think they're mixed martial artists, but they really don't know anything. With me, my philosophy is learn each art. You know, I've competed professionally as a boxer, a kickboxer, you know, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, mixed martial arts, and I think that in order to be considered a mixed martial artist, you should be able to do it. I mean, you should be able to say, okay, I'm not doing MMA today, I'm gonna box, and be able to hold your own, because that's what mixed martial arts is, being competent at every range of fighting.